Everybody, Brandy here. I recently came across a site called Quora. I simply typed in the word Palm Desert and it came up with all of these different questions and people just talking about the area. Quora is kind of like an alternative to Reddit, is how I would explain it. What we're going to do today is basically just go through maybe a couple of these and review some of the things that people are saying about living in the area. Maybe answer more questions and also hear from people that currently live here, have lived here, that are different perspectives than mine. I thought it would be interesting. So, this first one is, what is it like to live in Palm Desert, California? And then I think people go through and they posted their answers to this question. I'm kind of not too sure exactly how this works, but this first response is a bot, and I believe it to be summarizing all of the responses about climate, retirement, tourism, cultural activities, golf, parks and nature, shopping and dining, healthcare, housing, general expenses, social environment, and diversity. So that basically just summarizes everything. But that's a bot. It's not a person talking. So I thought that I would go through and read some of these responses. And again, these are from people who have lived here, currently live here. We're just going to go through the responses and just kind of talk about it. So this first one, her name is Barbara, and this is public information. I don't know if I'm allowed to put their full name on here, but it is a response, or it's a related response. Again, I don't really know exactly how Quora works. I'm very new to this. So if anyone really knows, comment below. What is it like to live in Palm Springs, California? She says, in my opinion, it's heaven. It's primarily gay and or retired people over 65. However, I am a straight single female in my early 50s and I couldn't be happier living here. The weather is the best in the US, mild in the winter, hot in the summer, but very little humidity. It does get into triple digits, however, everything is air conditioned. It's true. You go from, and I recently had my brother comment on one of my videos, is you basically go from air conditioned cars to air conditioned buildings, your home. At the end of the summer, you hit that cabin fever where you're like, okay, when is the hot weather going to break? And in October, it does, when you can at least get the cooler mornings and evenings. Middle of everything, a short drive, an hour and a half to LA or San Diego. Really, it's about 2 hours to get to San Diego or get to the nearest beach, which is Carlsbad, and that's just computing with traffic as well. The beautiful mountains, we get snow, which I am very happy that the snow is on the mountains and not here, because I don't do cold. I don't do snow. I really feel for the people who have to shovel snow all the time. I can't do it. I used to live in Mountain Center and we would commonly get snowfall, and for the first time in my life I did experience what that was like as a desert person. I say desert rat. I want to say desert rat because that's how we explain who we are, as we're desert rats, which just sounds kind of terrible. As a desert person living in the snow, I realized that yeah, it's pretty cool to have all this stuff falling down on the ground, but ultimately it's really cold and it's just not my favorite thing in the world. So I much prefer dry, warm. I'm like a lizard or a reptile. Dry, warm heat. Not anything wet or cold, just not my thing. So she goes on to say, and these are things that I've already said before. If it gets too hot in the summer, jump in one of the thousands of pools or take a short drive to Big Bear Lake where it's 20 plus degrees cooler. Even closer is Idlewild. If you haven't seen my videos on Idlewild, I would much prefer to go there than Big Bear, but Idlewild is very small. Big Bear is very big. So, and Big Bear is more of that city. Idlewild is cute, it's quaint, it's kind of like taking a step back in time because it's a city that refuses to kind of grow up, which I love that about Idlewild. And they don't have skiing and snowboarding in Idlewild, so that's something to keep in mind. A snowboard, ski, that's Big Bear, Mammoth. Idlewild, they don't have that there. She goes on to say, we have so much to do here. Street fair every Thursday downtown, great celebrations with parades and parties, gay pride, Christmas, 4th of July, etc. It's true. So people here in the desert, even though it's 110 degrees outside in July, we do have 4th of July fireworks in multiple parks throughout the valley. Some people can sit on their roofs to watch the fireworks. I know of really great viewpoints where you can watch multiple fireworks at the same time, but Palm Desert has a big one, and it's one of those where you can listen to a radio station and the fireworks are coordinated with the music, which is really fun. It's really cool. But yeah, and it's hot. I remember those days as a kid being at the park and just being like, oh my god, it's hot, when is the sun gonna go down? But yeah, it's a great time. People have been doing it for forever. Casinos, great music festivals and concerts and shows. Many museums, golf, tennis, horse trails, polo grounds a few minutes away, lots of movie theaters, and we host one of the biggest movie festivals around. I'm like not really with it with movie stars and everything. Growing up in Palm Springs, I just never really cared. There have been celebrities that I have seen out in public. I've seen Goldie Hawn, I've seen Suzanne Summers. God rest her soul. We all love Suzanne Summers. I loved Three's Companies growing up. And who else have I seen? I've seen the singer Brandy. I'm trying to think, but for the most part, a lot of people here, the locals, like we're unfazed by celebrities. We really don't care. At least for me personally. So I think, and that's part of the reason why I think a lot of celebrities come here, because mostly the locals, people born and raised, like we genuinely just don't care. We're going about our lives. We like our low key lifestyle when you compare it to LA. Like, and you just go and you come here and you live your life, and we're really not going to bother you too much. That's just been my experience with celebrities in the desert. So we had so many celebrities come out here for the movie festival, big event. Big event out here. So we got great shopping, little shops downtown to regular mall. We have a mall in Palm Desert. It's our only mall here in the desert. I believe they could be considering opening a mall in Indio. Not sure what's going on there. It's been abandoned, kind of like the old Palm Springs Mall. And we have a few fancy, expensive shopping and a few towns over. So like the outlets, Cabazon outlets. If you haven't seen my vlog with my niece Avery and my nephew Travis, we went to the dinosaurs over there, and that's where the outlet shopping center. So you can find Gucci, you can find Adidas, Converse. What else? You can find like all of the expensive outlets over there. They have a Saks Fifth Avenue, a Christian Louboutin, shoes, all of those outlet stores. And it goes on to say we are one of the most pet friendly cities around, which I agree, and I think that's definitely changed over the years. I used to commonly visit the city of Monterey or Carmel by the sea, which growing up in Palm Springs, I don't think the desert was really that pet friendly, but it's garnered attention as being more pet friendly. You'll commonly see people with dog bowls outside their stores with water, treats, and things like that. But I don't think that's always been like that. Growing up, it's definitely changed. You will still experience the restaurants that don't allow pets on their patio, don't allow pets in their stores. It's mostly like service pets. So we are pet friendly. Like I have 2 dogs. There are some places that you can't necessarily sit on the patio with your pet, because some places just don't allow it. So we are pet friendly, but when we compare it to other places, I think there are other pet friendlier places. Monterey has the dog beach, which is really cool. And we've got plenty of dog parks around here as well. And I think it's just developed to become more pet friendly. So and I say that too, because the thing that just popped in my mind, the street fair, the COD street fair, they used to, even though it's an outdoor open air market, they used to not allow pets. And that's changed, and now people bring their pets. So that's just for instance, the things have just kind of like changed and evolved. And she goes on to say the architecture is amazing, the scenery beautiful, and the city is clean. No litter on the streets, dirty trash piled up. And I agree. I think the cleanest cities in our desert would be Rancho Mirage, La Quinta, Desert, definitely. Palm Springs definitely has a homeless issue going on. You'll see that more so in downtown Palm Springs. The city of Palm Springs is definitely working with their roads, because their roads aren't very nice. They're looking to build bridges because they constantly have to close down specific roads because of the wind or the rainfall. And so they're actively working on that. And she goes on to say, I grew up on the East Coast and lived in a big city, Boston. Moving to Palm Springs was the best decision I ever made. I love that. Let's see if I can find another one. This next one is, and some of these posts are old, but our weather doesn't change. Even if 20 years ago, it's always been hot during the summer. And this person talks about, we were a family of 6 and moved there to be close to wife's mom. Palm Desert is one of the best parts of the Coachella Valley. Agreed. Wide spectrum of home prices, great parks, schools, shopping, etc. If it was not just full of old retired people, but had a growing family and educational demographic. It's also a full range of art and theater with the McCallum Theater, family-themed park activities, music, golf cart parade. So I do want to touch on the age thing. Growing up here, it was like, gosh, I'm surrounded by like old people. And truth be told, it is a retirement community. It's a big second home community, so it makes sense. And our weather's perfect, so it's really no wonder why the snowbirds who deal with the snow come out here to enjoy their winters. The demographic overall is changing. I can tell you that for a fact because this is one of the perfect areas to work from home because during the summer, if you're inside, like that's amazing. And the primary people that reach out to me for moving out here are anywhere from 30 to about 70. And it's all over the place. I've helped people of all ages, and the younger parts of the valley are definitely going to be La Quinta for sure, because La Quinta's very active, and also Indio. And Indio and Coachella are definitely more of the working family, so they're much younger age group. But again, I do think the demographic over the years in the Coachella Valley is going to change, but it will always be that retirement hotspot, the second home hotspot. It'll always be that. That's never changing. But I do think that the age demographic is going to slowly start trickle down a little bit. So that is changing. And also, growing up here as a kid, I felt like there was nothing for us to do, but that's changing too. So there's just so many things that they're creating for kids, or like water activities. You've got the Disney thing, you've got the surf club, you've got another surf club that's coming up over here. We've got the aquatic center, we've got museums, we've got the living desert. Things are definitely changing. So this person does go on. All 4 of our kids graduated from high school there, and myself attended College of the Desert. I took classes at UC Riverside at Palm Desert Extension. It's a great place to raise kids. Race kids? Just, race children. But it's a good place to raise kids. And I can tell you, my niece and nephew, although the biggest drawback would be obviously the heat, but I do think overall it is a great place to raise children. Honestly, I had a great childhood. I was outside all the time. I was playing with friends. I was going over to friends' houses. So it was quite awesome. The city council was the best and had the least negative issues of the 9 cities there. Being central to the whole CV was great, with the exception of extremity cities, Palm Springs, Cat City, and Indio Coachella. There was a semblance of political conservatism, and good decisions are the majority. Not sure how to word that. Again, this is 7 years ago, and I'm definitely not going to get on the political side of things. I think overall, there's a big mix of everyone here. The only issue was Southern California Edison bills were sky high. East of Washington, you have IID, a nonprofit utility with lower electric bills. Still true. The CV is still a great place for affordable home prices and has rebounded well after the recession. Facts. Although the CV has a full-time need for services, it is still dependent on the discretionary tourist dollar. Very true. We are very seasonal here. You do have businesses that shut down during the summer. So economically, it is the first hit and last to recover. I would say that's accurate because a lot of people, when you're talking about recession and the economy, when people decide that it's just too expensive to do things, they go to less vacations, they do less things. However, I think the difference with us would be the fact that people own a lot of second homes here. So even if and a lot of retirees as well. So even if you take into account the Airbnbs and the hotels and people who are doing the short stays here, we have a ton of people who come here to live for 6 months out of the year because they live here and they own a home here. So they're not necessarily vacationing here like a week or so. They're coming out here and living here months at a time. This person goes on to say, we are retiring now and returning to CV, to La Quinta this time. I was voting for Arizona or Texas. There are affordable, income limited housing and cost of living is lower. Plus, my wife's elderly uncle lives there and family comes first. We are moving to on 1110 within walking distance, almost everything we need for food, groceries, entertainment. So go for it. Palm Desert and La Quinta are great places to live. You heard it from these folks, not from me. Okay, so we've got 2 here, and I'll kind of go through these quickly because I think everyone's just kind of saying the same thing. It's the best place in the country to live. Many people come here to retire or for second homes. The snowbirds, because it is a melting pot of people from everywhere. People are very friendly and want to get to know you as well. I have owned here since 2005, but did not move my business here until 5 years ago. With so many venues to go, you can mingle every single night and meet so many interesting people, from famous authors, playwrights, musicians, artists, actors, former presidents, legislators, and legends. That is so true. We are surrounded by just so many interesting people, and I love it. It is a place that thrives with lots of outdoor activities, magnificent vistas, and clubs or nonprofits to be a part of. For those that don't know, I am a part of a nonprofit. It's called Women Leaders Forum. It is a nonprofit that is geared towards helping high schoolers with scholarships when they graduate high school. So it's really awesome. The cost of living is very reasonable. We have many great restaurants. Palm Desert has many gated communities, and during the 3-month hot season, when some residents leave, there are lots of things to do, because when the sun goes down, it is great to stargaze or even taking a night swim. That's super fun. One of my favorite things is definitely a hot tub on a cold night. It's like the best. It's like sitting in a hot tub when it's snowing outside. It's just fun. The warm desert breeze is tranquilizing. And if it's too hot at that time, you can take a 30-minute drive to Idlewild. It's about, like central Palm Desert, probably about 55 minutes or so. Just like maybe just straight an hour. The place to stay young and healthy. Whether you just take drives to places like Joshua Tree or Yucca Valley or Big Bear, the scenery is amazing. It is a type of driving you can enjoy, not a lot of traffic. We don't have a lot of traffic out here, which I love. I can't deal with traffic. Can't do it. I don't know how people in LA, San Diego, Orange County, I just don't know how they do it. I really don't know. Just put on a good song and breeze home. We have lots of international events such as the Paribas Tennis Open, the International Film Festival. That's what it was. I couldn't think of it earlier. Gosh, I feel so dumb. It was the International Film Festival that we had in Palm Springs. Modernism Week, and there is always something to look forward to. Oh, I love it. Palm Desert is a great place to live in. We have a lot of shopping, movie theaters, golf courses, places to hike. If you love to eat out, Palm Desert has a lot of fine dining, fast foods, anything you're in the mood for. It's so true. We have got so many dining opportunities, and I did talk to someone who owns a catering business. She said that the best restaurants are actually located in Palm Springs. I have yet to test that theory. They go on to say the weather is wonderful from October till March, April, May, usually. In the 70s during the days, 50s and 60s at night. Palm Desert is a great place to be if you're visiting or want to move here. If you want to get away, we're only 115 miles from Los Angeles, and less than that to San Diego. We have mountains of Idlewild and Big Bear to escape when it gets hot, and it does. Summer temperatures are from 110 to 120 degrees, and we get a lot of humidity. So we've got other people that have said we don't get humidity, and then we have other people who get a lot of humidity. I think when you compare it to other places like Florida or maybe Atlanta, Georgia, and I've helped people from Atlanta, Georgia, and they've told me that this is nothing. The humidity that we get, we maybe in total during the entire summer of us, which is like really like June to late September, we probably get 2.5 to 3 weeks of high humid days. And that's it. It's not a daily thing. That I got interrupted by a phone call, so now I don't even remember where we were. Okay, we were talking about the humidity. Yeah. Again, we just don't get that that much humidity. Right, here's a good one right here. So she's saying Palm Desert is a place you're either going to fall in love with or it's a place you can't wait to leave. I'd say that's pretty accurate. I personally love it. There is a sense of community because we don't have much of a population in comparison to other California cities. We believe we have roughly 50,000 residents, and some don't live here full time since this is a resort area. Schools are great, the weather is gorgeous in the winter, and the summers are hot but still beautiful. Plenty of shops and restaurants, lots of golf courses or golf resorts, and we have Coachella Fest, Stagecoach, and plenty of swimming pools. Here's a couple of others, and then also to note, this person it's hot, generally very pleasant, lots of restaurants, world-class shopping, generally friendly people, and incredible views with a screenshot of the weather that week. 123 degrees. It's kind of crazy. So these are their last ones. Summers are very warm, 90 plus days of over 100 degrees this year. It's cooled down now and it's great weather. The season brings in a lot of Canadians who don't know how to drive. That's really sad. So when you come from other areas, people drive differently. I went to Canada. I went to Calgary specifically. And yeah, the roads there are definitely different. A lot of people drive the speed limit. And I mean, my experience was people do not speed. And I think it's different there. And I could be thinking this wrong. Any of my Canadians, if you're watching, comment below, but I think they have a max speed. They don't have a limit. So, and that's the difference is that we have a limit. So if the speed limit's 50 miles an hour, I'm probably doing about 57 because I don't abide by that. I probably shouldn't be telling anyone this, but, and in Canada, let's say their max limit is 50. So you can go anywhere from maybe 40 miles an hour up to 50 miles an hour. And that's your max. So I think it's just when you come from different areas, people just drive differently. And so you have to experience a little bit of patience, especially if you live here full time and driving during the summer. It's so easy to get in and out of things. And then when our population swells during the season, we just get so many different people from all over the world that come and visit here. So you just have to experience a little bit of patience, knowing that all of our snowbirds and people and visitors and tourists are really good for our local economy. So we love them and we want you to keep coming. Trust me. The wealthy have their society benefits through April, and in general, I would not move here given my knowledge. Not sure what that means. If you don't have the bucks, life is mundane. Visit a lot and at different times of the year before you make a permanent move. I would say that's accurate for anywhere. You should definitely maybe consider all the cons before you make any sort of permanent move somewhere. I have had people come out here to do their own personal research, come out here during season, and then come out here during summer to see if they can handle it. For the most part, people have. If you like a dry, hot climate, it's nice. It has most of the common U.S. stores. It has a mall, mild winters, sporadic rainfall, bright and sunny most days. Places like LA, Vegas, Phoenix, and San Diego are less than a day's driving distance. Yeah, a day. Say, Vegas 3 hours, Phoenix I think it's 4, San Diego 2 hours, LA 2.5. I'd say that's my estimation. Coachella Festival comes to the neighboring town. In-N-Out Burger. It's a little pricey for housing. Golf courses all over. It's a resort area, so most parts of the year are busier than others. Some of my personal observations. And I just came across perhaps my next little video like this. If you enjoyed it, please comment below. This is talking about which are the bad areas of Palm Desert and one should avoid living in. So that'll be next up. Be sure to stay tuned for that one. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not currently subscribed, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. I love my subscribers, and thank you so much for your support and watching my videos. If you or anyone you know is looking to move out here to the Palm Desert area, I would absolutely love to chat with you. Text, email, pigeon carrier, all the things. I would love to chat with you, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.